Good evening and welcome to the Ghana Tv9 News Bulletin for Friday, December 12, 2025. I'm Madana Doric. In the headlines tonight, Ghana to get 4,000 high-tech cameras in national security upgrade. Jack Deal announces. VP Jack Deal pushes major community upgrades, orders land mapping for new development zones. Veteran broadcaster Ron Robinson has passed. Region 6 enters its most transformative era. Historic developments bring hope, job, and opportunity, says Minister Ashling. And Aviation powers Guyana. $42 billion industry, 17,000 jobs, and new regional connections, says Minister Indar. Now for the news in depth. Vice President Dr. Bara Jagdeo has announced a sweeping national security upgrade that will see 4,000 surveillance cameras installed across Guyana, equipped with facial recognition technology and integrated biometric tracking systems. The initiative, he said, is aimed at improving community safety, supporting law enforcement operations, and monitoring the growing number of foreign workers entering the country. More from Colin Abrams.
The vice president made the disclosure during a community meeting on the east coast of Demerara, where he discussed the government's shift towards strengthening neighborhood-level infrastructure and security during the PUPC administration's second term. According to Dr. Jagdeo, the camera network will be rolled out in the upcoming national budget and will be placed throughout communities, not only in traditional high-traffic or urban zones. The system will allow law enforcement to pinpoint individuals' locations in real time and enhance the country's ability to respond to security threats.
You will see them in communities right across Guyana, so we can track people, the facial recognition software. We can pinpoint who is where in our country at any time. That's how, remember when the Venezuelans bombed the gas station, with a few cameras we put in, we managed to track them. And so it's going to make the community safer, but also keep our country secure.
The VP said the expanded system will significantly improve Ghana's capability to detect and respond to such incidents in the future. The security upgrade forms part of a wider plan to introduce new national ID cards that distinguish Guyanese citizens from foreign nationals. These IDs will incorporate biometric data, which Jagdeo said will help authorities verify identity more efficiently as the country navigates a period of rapid economic growth and rising migration linked to labor shortages. While acknowledging the substantial presence of foreign workers, particularly Venezuelans, Jagdeo emphasized that the government's aim is not to discourage their contribution, but to ensure that Guyana maintains a secure and orderly environment as its workforce expands.
But if they were not here, our construction industry would collapse. Because if you go on most of the sites now, you see it's Venezuelans working. We can't find labor. So in a way, it's not so good, but in a way, it's a happy thing for us that we have labor shortages. When many countries around the world, people are looking for work, we have so much work that we can't find people, particularly construction type work.
The vice president said the new technology will strengthen border control, internal monitoring, and general public safety while giving communities greater peace of mind. He added that the initiative is part of the government's broader commitment to building safer, cleaner, and more modern communities across the country. With major national projects underway, including new hospitals, highways, commercial zones, and housing developments, Jagdeo said Ghana's rapid transformation is likely to attract even more migrant workers. The government, he said, intends to welcome and support while ensuring that systems are in place to maintain stability and security. Colin Abrams, Ghana TV9 News.
Ghana's aviation sector soared to new heights as the country recorded a massive $42 billion contribution in 2023, supported by more than 17,000 jobs across the industry. The milestone was highlighted at the Eugene F. Correa International Airport, where Inter-Caribbean Airlines made its historic first landing in Guyana, strengthening local connectivity and signaling rapid growth in the aviation landscape. Faith Sandy reports.
In 2023, Guyana's aviation sector contributed a staggering $42 billion to the national economy, highlighting its role as one of the country's fastest-growing industry. The sector directly employs 5,200 people, while another 12,000 work indirectly in supporting industries, including airports, airlines, logistics, and tourism.
If you build 10 kilometers of road, you can only drive 10 kilometers. If you build 10 kilometers of runway, you can see the world. This sector will grow and has been growing at double digits figure. IATA did a study that says $32 billion in 2023 was from the aviation sector. Direct employment of jobs in this sector is 5,200 persons. And indirect employment is about 12,000 people.
Guyana's aviation sector is growing at an unprecedented rate, and officials stress that sustainable development will rely on collaboration among regulators, policymakers, industry experts, and operators. Aviation continues to transform Guyana by expanding its links throughout the Caribbean and the wider world.
The aviation sector in Guyana has been growing and growing at a rapid rate. But in the process of getting that growth and making it sustainable, we had to embark on getting the collective wisdom of every aviator in the country to come on board with us. All of the policymakers, all of the think tanks, the regulators, the industry operators, advisors to come on board to say, where are we going with this sector? This sector will transform Guyana.
As Minister Deodat Indar noted, a runway doesn't just lead to a destination, it opens Guyana to the world. With inter-Caribbean now strengthening regional access, the sector's trajectory remains firmly upward. Faith Sandy, Ghana TV9 News.
Vice President Barajak has outlined an aggressive community development agenda for the government's second term, directing all Neighborhood Democratic Council NDCs in Region 4 to identify available public lands by January 15, 2026 as part of a new national push to improve drainage, security, sanitation, and local infrastructure. Colwyn Abrams has more.
The vice president delivered the address during a meeting on the east coast of Demerara, the same venue he visited months before the 2025 general elections. He reflected on the administration's first term, emphasizing its focus on reviving a stagnant economy, eliminating burdensome taxes, and creating jobs. A major part of Jaguar's address focused on land management. He instructed all NDCs to map out available reserves and free land, not for private allocation or business interests, but for structured development that will benefit residents. He said communities should prepare to create designated parking zones for heavy machinery, small commercial and industrial areas for activities like spray painting and mechanical repairs, and recreational spaces where families, children, and the elderly can gather safely.
We need to find land in each of these NDCs and big villages, the large villages, because you have some villages that are huge, like Buxton, Annandale, Lusignan, Good Hope. These are big, big communities, where we now have to develop the infrastructure, like on Triumph. Before the elections, they were awarded a contract to do a 4-lane road. And the guys came to see me, the people from the village, and said, it will be disruptive of our lives, including the taxi drivers. So I said to them, we'll take a bit of land from Nari and develop a tarmac where a lot of you who are washing vehicles and doing all these things, you'll move on to the tarmac. It will be a quasi-industrial commercial area. Identified it so that everybody could get off the road.
The vice president said the government's second term will prioritize fixing long-standing community problems such as unreliable garbage collection, poor drainage, inadequate street lighting, and the spread of workshops and heavy machinery in residential neighborhoods. He announced that 90,000 new streetlights will soon arrive for installation across communities nationwide. Subventions to NDCs have been increased from $5 million to $30 million to support drainage, maintenance, and equipment operation. Concrete drainage systems will also be rolled out in several areas, and additional garbage collection equipment will be provided to improve service reliability.
Now, we are developing big commercial areas like at Colditch and Fowles area, the back of Fowles, because that was part of generating more jobs to the East Coast. So you can work just in these communities, and a number of big factories and other things are going to go there. I'm talking about a mini version of that back in the communities so that you can easily, if you have a hairdressing thing, you might get a plot there and you can start it there. You don't have to go or set up your barber shop on the roadside or spray paint and affect your neighbor. So I want all of you to start looking at this.
Jaggi assured that the government is now fully focused on delivering the commitments it made to the electorate. He said the PAPC's landslide victory in 2025 was rooted in its track record of keeping its 2020 promises despite the challenges of the pandemic. Quote, "We worked 5 years in spite of COVID to deliver on those promises, and we will do so again," end of quote, he said. Colwyn Abrams, Ghana TV9 News.
Veteran broadcaster, actor, and cultural icon Ron Robinson has died in Guyana. He passed away earlier today, leaving behind a legacy that spans decades into radio, television, theater, and the creative arts. Robinson was widely known for his distinctive voice, his commanding stage presence, and his long-standing contributions to the development of Guyanese entertainment. Over the years, he mentored younger performers, shaped local theater productions, and became a familiar and respected figure in broadcasting circles. Tributes have been pouring in online from fellow broadcasters, actors, and admirers across the country. Many have been sharing memories of Robinson's professionalism, humor, and generosity. Robinson's contributions to the arts and the media landscape have left a lasting mark on Guyana. He will be remembered not only for his extraordinary talent, but for the warmth and kindness he brought to everyone he worked with. More news after the break. Stay tuned.
Channel 9 is now Guide TV9, proudly under new management. We're building stronger with a balanced and open platform for all advertisers. Whether you're promoting a business, service, or event, your message belongs right here. So choose your spot, news, prime time, or anytime, and reach viewers across Guyana. With affordable rates and professional service, Guide TV9 is your partner in progress. So visit us at Lot 21A, Lamaha Street, Georgetown, in the Century 21 building, or call 600-5006 or 761-5006. Guyana TV9. New leadership, fresh outlook, real results.
Celebrate Christmas the Guyanese way with 7 days of magic and adventure. Feel the streets come alive with lights, decor, and carols. Share in the delicious joy of favorites like pepper pot, black cake, and even ginger beer. Then explore Guyana's attractions, the majestic kite show, scenic tour on the Demerara Essequibo, and Mahaika rivers. 7 days, one unforgettable Christmas. Join us. Let's discover Guyana this Christmas.
Want to place your death announcements and in memoriam messages on Channel 9? Call 592-761-5006, 710-5008, 600-5006. Or visit our office at Lot 85A Lamaha Street, Albertown, Georgetown, Century 21 building.
Welcome back. You're watching the Ghana TV9 News Bulletin. Region 6 is undergoing the most ambitious wave of development in its history, an era that Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashley Singh, described as quote unquote the region's most exciting period yet. Here is more. Speaking at the annual Christmas Village Light Up in New Amsterdam on Thursday evening, the minister delivered a powerful message of progress highlighting the major transformational projects President Irfan Ali's government has rolled out across the region. For decades, communities like Myra and New Forest lived without electricity, pushing families to relocate in search of better living conditions. That era, Dr. Singh emphasized, is now over. Under President Ali's leadership, electricity has reached these communities for the very first time, reversing years of underdevelopment and unlocking new opportunities for growth and stability.
Vice Chairman Bill Jagru, who has his ancestral roots in Mara and who I believe was even born in Mara, will tell you of the years when the people of Mara endured no electricity. And the families migrated out of Mara and the east bank of Berbice because of the lack of electricity. Today, there is no necessity any longer for that to happen because President Ali has delivered electricity to the people of Mara and East Bank Berbice. The same, of course, is happening in other communities. I see some of our brothers and sisters from New Forest on the Kanji River. And you know, those of you who are familiar with New Forest, that for years New Forest also had no electricity. And President Ali said, we must deliver electricity to New Forest. And today, New Forest has electricity for the first time in the history of our country.
But electricity is only one piece of a much larger transformation. New Amsterdam is seeing unprecedented investment, including the construction of the brand new modern hospital, a state of the art nursing training school, and upgraded community roads that are reshaping entire neighborhoods. Across the region, massive infrastructural upgrades are on the way. Highways, bridges, and new housing developments in Williamsburg, Hampshire, and Number 75 Village are all becoming reality. Youth development stands at the center of this transformation. At Port Moron, the Guyana Technical Training College now hosts the National Oil and Gas Institute, preparing young people for high paying jobs in the country's rapidly expanding energy sector. Alongside it, the National Tourism and Hospitality Institute is set to train thousands more for world class roles in hospitality and tourism.
And so, my dear brothers and sisters, in recent times I've said that region number 6's most exciting period will be the 5 years that are ahead of us, because these 5 years will herald a remarkable and exciting transformation in this beautiful region of yours. And so we meet at a time when there is every reason for strong hope, for great optimism, and for celebration of the exciting future that lies ahead of us. And so we have every reason to celebrate that beautiful future.
Adding to Region 6 momentum is the near completion of the world-class Palmyra Stadium, which will soon welcome international cricket and provide platform for local athletes to compete on a global stage. The entire Palmyra area is being positioned as a new industrial hub set to attract investments and job creation on a scale the region has never seen. Perhaps the most game-changing project is the second national gas pipeline slated to land at Crop Island. Dr. Singh explained that this development will open the doors to large-scale industrial activity from fertilizer production to data centers, promising to create thousands of new jobs and drive long-term economic growth.
Not so long ago, just a few weeks ago, President Ali convened a special summit to discuss the development of gas in Berbice. Because just like how the first gas pipeline has been landed in Wales, Guyana's second gas pipeline will be landing in Region 6 in the Crab Island area. Imagine the industrial development that will take place in Region 6 when that gas pipeline lands right here.
These developments, he noted, represents a future brighter than anything we have seen before. From modern healthcare to new industries, improved connectivity to educate for the next generation. Region 6 is stepping into a future defined by opportunity, resilience, and unprecedented progress. Donna Doric and TV9 News. 83 women from across Ghana are now one step closer to transforming their entrepreneurial dreams into reality. After receiving business grants from the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, the grants were distributed on Wednesday at the Ghana Women's Leadership Institute, enabling women from 9 regions to start or expand rather small businesses as part of national efforts to boost women's economic empowerment. Faith Sandy has more details.
The initiative was delivered through the Women's Innovation and Investment Network program in partnership with the IDB and the Government of Canada. Each beneficiary received $300,000 after completing mandatory skills training, business planning workshops, and meeting eligibility criteria. The approximately $25 million investment also supports survivors of domestic violence and individuals assisted by the Counter Trafficking in Persons Unit, providing them with strengthened skills and renewed path to financial independence. Listen as these women describe how the grant gives them the boost, hope, and opportunity they've long been waiting for.
Right now, I have a handcraft business, and I would like to help others to, learn this trade, that they would, benefit from it too, just as I'm going to benefit.
First of all, it will help me a lot because I was meaning to open a business, but the finance was a problem. So this can help me with give myself a push start. So I'm so grateful for it, and going to make sure that I keep up my standard of making this business grow as big as possible.
Well, it means a lot to me, and I'm thankful and grateful for receiving it. And it will help me by opening a boutique because I do online shopping and I don't have a place of my own at the moment, but I'm hoping that it will help me to start and build further. Well, firstly, I'm opening up a printing shop and an internet cafe. Some students to actually get stuff done. So I am willing to open that business to help others so they can, get past their exams.
Well, for my business, I do a whole lot in terms of I do cake, bake and icing, decor on a small scale, and I would also market my products on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, and that's how I basically market my stuff that I have. So this cash grant gonna benefit me a whole lot in terms of all of these things that I have going
Through
on.
training, financing, and targeted support, the WIIN program continues to equip women with the tools needed to build stable livelihoods and contribute to Guyana's growing small business sector. For these 83 women, the grant is more than financial support. It's a life-changing opportunity to step into independence, leadership, and long-term economic success. Faith Sandy, Guyana TV9 News.
In regional news, the United States has imposed sanctions on relatives of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and 6 oil shipping companies, escalating tensions after U.S. forces seized a Venezuelan tanker off the coast. Washington accuses Maduro's network of trafficking drugs and moving black market oil, where Venezuela has condemned the raid as quote unquote international piracy. The tanker is headed to Texas as the U.S. signals more seizures may follow. Rising fears of open conflict. Russia has voiced support for Maduro, and the UN is urging restraint as the standoff between Washington and Caracas intensifies. Internationally, Germany has accused Russia of a major cyber attack on its air traffic control system in August 2024 and of trying to influence the February federal elections through a guru linked to this information campaign. Officials say the Fancy Bear hacker group was behind the breach, while fake videos alleging ballot manipulations targeted top candidates just days before the vote. Berlin has summoned the Russian ambassador and warned of coordinated European countermeasures to make Moscow, quote unquote, pay a price for its hybrid actions. The claims add to rising fears of Russian interference across Europe since the Ukraine invasion, though Russia has not yet responded. And that has brought us to the end of tonight's newscast. Remember to check out our Facebook and YouTube platforms at GOI TV9 for more trending stories. I'm Madana Doric. Good night.